Hey friends, Ash here with Gents with another week in fragrance. So recently I did a week of niche and indie reviews and I kind of mixed that up a little bit with a couple random videos interspliced in between that week, so it was actually 9 days. So it's been more than a week since I've done this week in fragrance. You would think that would mean I would have a ton of new releases to talk about here, but I really don't. The last time I did a This Week in Fragrance, I had to split it up into 2 videos because there were so many things announced. But here, I just have 10 to go over with you. Now, of course, that's not everything that's been announced since I did the last video. I have to cut things out all the time, but these are 10 ones that I think are fairly interesting. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, a new John Varvatos fragrance, which is JVxNJ Silver Edition. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, JVxNJ is John Varvatos with Nick Jonas. Shout outs Nick Jonas. Jonas Brothers song Love Bug, absolute smash. Don't care what anybody says. Back to being serious though, this is the 3rd and final release in the JVxNJ trilogy, which has the original blue edition and then the crimson edition before this one. I actually reviewed the crimson edition on this channel not that long ago. Let's hear what John Varvatos has to say about this release. JVxNJ Silver is a fresh, invigorating, and transcendent fragrance. It captures that moment of possibility and irresistible momentum as day begins. When you let go, take a deep breath and look ahead to the next great thing. JVxNJ Silver is supercharged with a vivifying freshness that pulsates throughout the fragrance. This write-up is just getting me hyped. Electric citrus notes fuse with the cool mineral accord to capture the sleek sophistication of silver as a precious metal that mirrors the facets of modern masculinity. At the core, Orris blooming on the rocks embodies a unique contrast of elegance and strength, balanced with the textural warmth of patchouli and threads of silver musk to deliver an iconic signature. Woo! That is a mouthful. This is going to be in 75 and 125 milliliter sizes, available at Macy's. In case you missed it in the Flavor Flav level of hype that was that write-up, the notes are as follows. A top of mineral notes, green leaves, citric notes, bergamot, and lemon, a mid of sage, geranium, and iris, and a base of woods, Indonesian patchouli, sandalwood, amber, and musk. The real question is, will this silver edition be better than the 2 before it? The blue one got hated on a lot in the community. Basically, it's what you would expect from a blue fragrance, just, you know, a casual wear, super versatile, people-pleasing kind of fragrance. Crimson was a little bit better received. This one better blow those 2 out of the water based off what I just read. Next up, a new fragrance from the house of Frederic Malle by perfumer Jean-Claude Ellena. A lot of people hardcore into the fragrance community getting a little bit hyped for this one. Fragrance's name is Rose and Cuir, which is leather, and I know that my French pronunciation, not so good. Please forgive me, I beg of you. This fragrance reveals a unique simplicity imagined by Jean-Claude Ellena. The floral beauty brought by the rose, accompanied by blackcurrant and geranium, plunges us into a minimalist universe. Leather brings mystery to this world and completes the fragrance that seduces us with subtlety. This fragrance, though, does not have an actual note of rose, but from what I hear, the notes work together to where it does smell like there's a rose there, or a rose note. The official notes here are bourbon geranium, blackcurrant, and Sichuan pepper in the top, a heart of vetiver and cedarwood, and a base of leather. That's one I'm definitely not going to write off before I smell it. That could be amazing. But we'll have to wait and see. Next up, 2 fragrances from the house of Kenzo, which is a house in the fragrance world that gets no hype. First one is Aqua Kenzo Neo Edition. Yes, Neo, like from the Matrix. And I know that's not what they mean here, but I wanted to say it anyway. So Aqua by Kenzo, not the Neo edition, just the original Aqua by Kenzo, is one that I've thought about picking up for a while now, ever since it was released. It doesn't have the most stellar reviews on the face of the earth, but I'm still a little bit intrigued. Let's talk about the new one though. This is a collector's edition for men who surf the waves of freedom. I love fragrance write-ups, and at the exact same time, I find them completely ridiculous. Take the plunge and brave the waves. Aqua Kenzo Neo Edition by Kenzo Parfums draws inspiration from the most intense aquatic sensations. This fragrance for men unveils its exquisite style in cobalt blue and lime yellow neoprene. Aqua Kenzo Neo Edition reinterprets The Great Wave by Hokusai. K by Kenzo invites you to discover this pop art pouch fashion accessory that contains the eau de toilette. I got those words out correctly, but it was a struggle. Once unveiled, this limited edition fragrance for men becomes the ideal gift for ocean enthusiasts. This summer, ride the waves of freedom with the new limited collector's edition of Aqua Kenzo Neo Edition. Okay. It has a top of apple and red berry fruit, a mid of aquatic notes, sesame, and walnut, and a base of amber musk, tonka, cedar, and sandalwood. Now, the original Kenzo Aqua has just about the exact same notes as this one, so I'm not sure if this is just a limited edition where the only thing they change is the packaging and the bottle, and the fragrance inside is the exact same. There are some really minor differences between the notes, but this could be just a rebottling. The other Kenzo fragrance, Low Kenzo Neo Edition. According to Kenzo, this fragrance fills the summer with aquatic sensations. Protected inside its colorful neoprene wetsuit, which is also printed with the Great Wave, just like the fragrance before it, the bottle of Low Kenzo takes on a new look with colors and prints in shades of indigo and swimming pool blue. This fragrance has drawn inspiration from aquatic sensations and the absolute freedom of summer. This fragrance has a top of lime, yuzu, and pepper, with a mid of lotus, mint, and aquatic notes, sitting on a base of musk and cedar. Hopefully these Neo editions are not just a rebottling, but it could be. Next up, a new Issey Miyake. And Issey Miyake has tons of flankers. We all know this. This is a new Nui DC flanker. It is Nui DC Pulse of the Night. According to Issey Miyake, a new series will be released for Nui DC inspired by the coexistence of humans and nature. The series' signature leather accord has a feral expression, while the spicy, captivating fragrance invites us to the depths of the night. A spicy leather wood fragrance. The top note of frankincense has a magnetic effect. The middle note has a sensual growl as addictive tonka beans meld with warm patchouli and tawny labdanum. The last note unleashes a vibrant contrast of potent vetiver and smooth sandalwood, warmed by purring vanilla. I do like this write-up because they tried to give a nice descriptor for every note. The mid has a sensual growl with an addictive tonka, with warm patchouli and then tawny labdanum, while the vetiver here is potent, the sandalwood is smooth, and the vanilla is purring. And that right there is what we call quality. So be on the lookout for that if you're an Issey Miyake fan or a Nui DC fan. Pulse of the Night. Next up, we have a new Dunhill fragrance. It is Dunhill Century Blue. The only thing I have for this right now is the notes. I don't have that fancy write-up like I've had for the last few fragrances. But feel free to do your own write-up and leave that in the comments, and maybe Dunhill will see it and use it. This one has a top of bergamot, mandarin, and pepper, a mid of orange blossom water, iris, and ginger, and a base of mineral salt, oak moss, and patchouli. I'm gonna have my hopes up for this one. Maybe it's a little twist on blue fragrances. We all know what that means, right? Dunhill fragrances you can usually pick up pretty cheap not long after they're released, so that's one I'm gonna keep my eyes open for at discounters. Next up, a release from Baldessarini Black. Again, no write-up here, just notes. It has a top of basil, aquatic notes, and pink pepper, a mid of geranium, natural gum, and patchouli, and a base of sensual leather, labdanum, and tonka. Natural gum. That is not a note that I think I've ever seen. Next up, a Michael Kors release, Extreme Sky. And I don't know what it is with Michael Kors, but almost all of their releases nowadays are extreme something or other. Extreme Rush, Extreme Night. They've got a ton of them. But this one is Extreme Sky. So let me give you this quick write-up from Michael Kors so you can see if this is something you would be interested in or not. For the daredevil who has it all and knows no limits, introducing Michael Kors Extreme Sky, the gravity-defying new men's scent that captures the heart-pounding sensation of conquering the sky and soaring high above it all. A woody, watery blend takes you to the top of the atmosphere and leaves you breathless. A gripping ozonic accord thrusts you across the sky for a surge of adrenaline that reinforces the fragrance's steep vertical ascent. So I don't have the official note breakdown, I just have this write-up, and all this tells me is that it has a woody, watery blend and then an ozonic accord. And having nothing else to go off of, that sounds really boring. I'm assuming this is just going to be a clean, maybe shower jelly type smelling fragrance. I could be wrong. Maybe there's a ton of ambroxan in here also. That wouldn't really surprise me, but yeah, Cuir's Extreme Sky. We're gonna wrap this up with 2 fragrances from by Kilian. First off, Rolling in Love. From the house, Rolling in Love captures the romance and exhilaration of a budding relationship. Notes of creamy almond milk, iris, and musk form the basis of this layered fragrance and work to add depth to rich floral aromas. In fact, the blend of rose, orange blossoms, and gardenia will complement the bouquet your date presents at dinner. And then the last fragrance for this week, Fun Things Always Happen After Sunset. Blended like an olfactive cocktail that is fresh, fruity, and energizing, After Sunset gets to the heart of when the party starts. The cocktail's freshly cut herb garnish hits the nose, while a sip of blackcurrant syrup soothes the palate into a delicious heart of lychee. Thoroughly modern, the After Sunset vibe gets ever sensual with musk, rose, and patchouli as night takes her final hold. Relax the shoulders, wink at the bartender, and sip some After Sunset. Yep. So there we have it. 10 new releases. Hopefully between this video and next week, we get some other really killer releases announced. Let me know in the comments below what you're looking forward to most out of these 10. Is it the Frederic Malle, the Issey Miyake, or maybe the Nick Jonas? It could be good, you never know. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support, and I'll see you guys again next time.